Today, we are going to build 007's favorite cocktail, the martini, shaken, not stirred. So, I have never made a professional cocktail in my entire life, let alone ever made a 007 cocktail. We have lots of lovely spirits in our pantry, and out of all of the spirits and all of the mixtures, we don't have the stuff to make a martini. Neither did we have the glass. So I went out and I got all the stuff to do this build today. So, being equipped with the great Google, you get the martini recipe. And so what we're going to do here is we're going to do what we need to make this build happen. So our first ingredient is going to be 3 ounces of gin. So we're going to go over here and we're going to grab our shot glass. And we got our gin. Now I wasn't sure about this gin, so I've had better. Definitely maybe Bombay better, but whew, this will get the job done. So we need 3 ounces. We got a 1 ounce shot glass. Oops, forgot to take our lid off our shaker. Just poured some gin on my Funko 007. Poured some more. That's pretty ballerific, considering the value of that Funko. It's about $25, $30. Just pouring some gin up on it. See here, our next thing is going to be 1 ounce of vodka. Now, since I do drink vodka, I have only the best Grey Goose. So we're going to go with that. There we go. And then our next ingredient is going to be ½ ounce of dry vermouth. So we got that. So we're just going to do half a shot glass of that. That's about half. There we go. And that should be all that it takes to make this happen. So we put it into our shaker. And remember, shaken, not stirred. There we go. And then we're gonna pour off our lid. Pour in our cocktail. That's pretty cloudy. Then we have our olives. Fresh out of the fridge, garlic and jalapeno. I don't think James Bond would have liked that, but hey, this is what we got. We're not a full-service bar here. So we want to take our olive and da-da! And there we go. Now we have built our 007 martini. You're supposed to garnish with a lemon, but we forgot about that. Okay. I definitely prefer the women he takes home after a few of these compared to actually having this drink. Oh wait, we're not supposed to be building the 007 martini. We're supposed to be building the Lego Creator 007 DB5 Aston Martin. Shit! Let's get to work! So welcome to Bricks and Toys. My name is Brandon, and if you are watching a build that I have anticipated on doing for months. If you can't tell by today's intro, I am a massive 007 James Bond fan. I have my fandoms, but when it comes to stuff that's not Star Wars or Marvel or superheroes, James Bond is my number one. For the last 23 years of my life, I have been watching James Bond movies ever since I was like 10 years old, watching him drink martinis, take beautiful women to bed, and always get the bad guy and always come out on top. Always through tragedy is always success with a license to kill. James Bond is the guy. So this is a build that I always wanted to do. It is the Lego Creator Expert James Bond Aston Martin DB5 set number 10262, coming in at 1,295 pieces. Now, if I'm not mistaken, this set did come out in 2019, and it only ran until this last December of 2022. By the time I got into Lego, the only thing you could get that's close to this is the Speed Champions, which is an awesome little car, do not get me wrong. But the one question I always ask myself, how long is this going to be enough? Your Creator Expert cars, now icons, are growing and growing and growing. When is it time for you to pull out the martini glass and actually make a pass and get the actual Lego Creator Expert? And the problem with this is it was always bad timing and bad prices with shipping and everything with Bricklink or eBay that I just never pulled the trigger. Until one day I was at my Bricks and Minifigs store. They had it there. I paid $240, but I got like $15 off because they had points there. And so it was like $225 take home, something like that, plus tax. And I figured that is probably a little high than normal, but at this point I'm not paying for shipping, I'm not dealing with the weight, I'm not dealing with people, I'm not dealing with things to go wrong like what's been going on, trying to get this set behind the scenes. So we finally got it and we're here. Now usually I like to tell a story about how this set means something to me or why it's here, usually tell you a little bit about that. But like I already said in the intro of this build, it's all about 007. He's the guy with the shaken martini, not stirred, and always got a beautiful girl in a string bikini. I rhymed that on purpose. And he's the man of the hour. So what we're going to do here is we're going to go over the box. We're going to put up our score on the box. And then we're going to unbox this set and take a look at what we have in terms of the build. And get to a time lapse and get it built like we normally do. Man, that is not my thing. I just spilled it on me too. Ugh. Okay, so looking at the box, it is telling me that the dimensions are 13 inches long, 3.5 inches high, and 4.5 inches tall or wide. It does have special wheels which resemble the DB5. As you can see, it does have all of these sweet features, gizmos and gadgets all through it. As you can see, we got the bullet reflector, ejectocito and flip down machine gun marker lights, and rotation license plates. This thing is loaded. Now, unlike most Creator Expert sets, it does not have the parts list on the top. That is something to note, but it is definitely not something that is missed. Overall, it looks like it's got really good detail, and overall it looks pretty exciting. Like, I'm really excited to finally get into this. I am biased about the box because the moment I saw it all those years ago, I was like, I gotta have it, but as soon as I got into this, it was too late. It was gone. So for the box, I am going to give the box a straight up 10 because it's incredible. The other detail I wanted to mention about the box is it does have the barrel of the gun like you see in the James Bond opening scenes of most of the movies except Casino Royale. I am a person that has seen every single one of them probably 2 to 3 times a piece. That's how down I am. So I know most of all the lore. So that martini's getting to me. So now it's time to open up the box and let's take a look at what we have in terms of the build. Okay, so now we're all out. I don't know why, but I decided to pour it on this small little table I put up here for you guys for the sake of the video. I do see about 4 bags total. Most bags have brother and sister bags, which is normal with Creator Expert vehicles. I totally expect that. I do see a bag of random parts, which looks to be a Technic element, a windscreen, and 4 tires. Again, what I would expect. And then we open up our book. Now this being an older set, let's give it a sniff. Not a strong ink smell at all. I'm looking at the sticker sheet. We are looking at about 12 stickers. The majority of them are doubles for the license plate and for some trim pieces, it seems, and the Aston Martin logos. No matter what, I don't think the stickers will be as obvious as it is on this, but we'll see when we get there. So we have the classified building instructions. So these cannot be shared with anybody, so I don't know if I can even tell you what's in here. Nah, I'll tell you anyway. So remember, this is classified information, I'm telling you. It's not classified on any other Lego set except this one. But we are looking at 263 building steps and 162 pages. As far as bags go, we are looking at 4 building stages of bags like I thought. And the first bag basically builds the floorboard and a part of the steering of the car. The second bag builds more of the sides and the rest of the steering. The third bag builds the front and the rest of the sides. And the fourth bag basically builds the top part of the car. So pretty straightforward. So now all we have to do now is grade what we have in front of us, and overall it's exactly what I would expect. I think I will give this an actual score of 9 because it's pretty straightforward packaging. Maybe I'm wrong because this martini is probably a little bit too strong for me. I don't usually have things like this. I don't know why I keep drinking it. It's like, wow. What's the olive taste like? Olive was good. That's the best part of the whole damn thing. That's a tasty olive. So anyway, so now we have a starting score of 19, which is above average of what we normally do. Our average is about 18 to get started. So now let's go to time lapse. Let's get this beautiful thing built, and we'll be back at my workstation for the review. So now we are at the review portion of this video. Now, it only took us 4 hours to get to this point. So if you're looking for a good afternoon build to kill half of a day, this is the build. Now, just to be clear, we are reviewing the bigger DB5, not the little one. The little one is just in reference. That's the one you can currently buy. It is a Speed Champions version of this car. But I figured I would have it here for the review anyway. Let's just get into overall design detail of the car. It is a little boxy, I will say. That's one of the things that did deter me from this model back in the day. But Lego back in this time when they were creator expert, they did the best that they could, and I think they did good enough. Let's just start from the details on this side, and we'll work our way through. And going along, we'll go over all the special features of this car. Now, one of the first things I did want to point out with this car is it does have special center wheel pieces. I don't know if they're made for this set, but they do a really good job complementing that wire wheel look that is found on the DB5. What I'm talking about is the center insert for the wheel. Now you may see those spikes on the side of the wheel, and those spikes are made to come out to be the tire skies like in the movie. In the trunk, we do have 2 pieces in the trunk, and what those pieces are for is to come over here, take off the center cap of the wheel. So you take out that piece, you switch that piece out with this piece, stick it back in. So you actually reuse that one black piece, the smaller one, and you go like that. So now let's try to get this one off without so much hassle. Now we're just going to take the whole wheel off again. Okay. Maybe after a couple take aparts it's a little bit easier. So just like that, we have our tire skis, whatever you want to call them. So you don't want to get too close to this guy because he will flatten your tires and ruin your day. So that is one of the first features. It is one of the most hardest ones to accomplish with this model, because you do kind of got to take the car apart and mess with it. Putting it back is a lot easier than putting it in, but I wanted to take it back apart so I could take you into the trunk and show you the trunk. Now they do want you to put these extra pieces right here in the trunk on the trunk studs, and that's where they go. And so now we're at the back of the car, and I just wanted to point out we do have these really nice silver-esque bumper. It's a bunch of little cylinder pieces that make up the bumper. When I was growing up, we had to spray paint this color. It was called Tijuana Chrome, and Lego loves to use it on builds like this and the DeLorean. We do have the plate that does change, and I'm pretty sure all these numbers go for the designer and the set number and of course James Bond. We do have the smoke shield, but it does get kind of snagged, so bringing it up and down is not an easy thing to do. You kind of got to fight it to get it back down, but it is there. There is a feature right here in the middle, but to show you that, I'm going to take you on to the side, and that'll be our intro to our side detail. So you pull, and then you release. Ejecto-cito, cuz, right there. So that is super cool. The seat does go right back down on a spire, and that does go nice and back easily. Going along the side of the car, obviously I already talked about the wheels. I do like the silver piece right there for the trim, as well as the continued silver trim accents for these mirrors, which does have functioning doors. There is a TV unit hidden inside of the vehicle, and what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to take you off the camera to show you this. So this is the next feature of the car. If you roll this over, you will get that famous plop down screen that is hidden in the vehicle. Pretty cool. You can also see the interior details, the gauges, the seats. Not a lot to look at, honestly, in the interior aspect of things. But going on with our features, you did see the red lever inside of the vehicle. That red lever does pull back for a special feature, which is those machine gun marker lights, which is pretty cool. Now, we were on the passenger side door because this is a British vehicle, but let's come over to the driver's side, which is here in America, the passenger side. And there we got the passenger side. It's pretty much the same as the other side, with the exception that this part of the roof does not open. And we have a sticker here, it says DB5. I don't know why there's not one on each side of the vehicle. It is what it is. When we open up our door, we can see that driver's area. This build does not have functioning steering, but we can pull down a door. And inside of that door is a special phone. Now coming around to the front of the vehicle. Now at the front of the vehicle, we also do have those license plates that switch up. Mine seems to be kind of stuck. There could be a possible building error on that, but that does rotate like the other ones do. The hood does open up. Before we open up the hood, I do want to say these are all nice printed silver pieces making up that grille, and I think the headlights are really nice. And we have more of that Tijuana chrome silver stuff making up the bumper to match the back. Now the hood does open up, correct? Or shall I say bonnet. And when you open up the bonnet, you do get a really nice detailed engine bay. I think they did a really good job detailing this. So overall, really nice. I really enjoy the car. I'll show you the bottom of it so you get a sense of what the bottom is made out of. A lot of Technic core like usual. Let's get some more glamour shots of it. And get you into that trunk a little bit. So that wraps it up for the review. It's really cool to finally have the Baby Speed Champion sit right next to Papa, the Creator Expert version of the car. This car probably won't be going onto the Lego shelves. It'll probably be going into my room because I love James Bond. So let's get to the wrap up. So here we are, so soon, back at the wrap up. Now, like I said in the review, I had 4 hours of pure enjoyment and building this set. And one of the things that I really want to say about this is I really feel like this build for me is more than a Lego build. This is probably even more closer to me than the DeLorean Back to the Future. I do love Back to the Future. It is one of my top 5 or 10 movies to see. But with James Bond, you get over 20 movies. You get like 4 to 5 different actors and their portrayals of the role. You get over 50 to 60 years now of character evolution. Just James Bond is so thick. And I think that's maybe one of the reasons why that I'm so partial to this car and this build. If I had a no questions asked dream car that costed around $1 million or more, it would be a definite draw between the DB5 and the original Mercedes SL Gullwing. It would definitely be a draw, but edging out the Mercedes Gullwing would be the DB5. There'd be nothing more I would love to do than to be posing around town in a suit and driving a DB5 with the James Bond soundtrack throughout the last 6 decades or whatever it is, just blaring. Diamonds Are Forever, Goldfinger, all of the great themes, hell, even the one done by Sam Smith and Spectre. Just play them all. Just wonderful times. So this is a very special build, and like I said in my review, I don't think it's going to go in the studio. I think it's going to go by where I put my head down every night. I'm going to find a way to display it so it's super close. As it is, I didn't talk much in the beginning about it, but this is my Funko Pop of Sean Connery in the DB5 for Goldfinger, and this is by my bed every single night because it's a huge thing to me. It's a huge fandom. It's something I'm really drawn to, and that's not going to get replaced, but it's definitely going to get accompanied by that. Originally, it was the Speed Champions, but that stays with the Speed Champions out in the garage, where this is going to go inside the house. So now let's go ahead, let's get to the board, and let's try to not biasly review this whole set, or whether I recommend spending the $200+, whatever your market is for this set, and let's try to give this thing an honest review and not be too biased. So our first thing is going to be build quality. Honestly, this thing is built like a shit brick house. It's super stout. I noticed that going in, that I was like, I should be careful on this building technique, but it doesn't really look like the book is expressing concern. So I went in full force and it just went. Where I expected it to fall apart, it would not fall apart. So it has got really good build quality. With that, I'm going to give the build quality a 10. Ah, man, this is already going bad. Part usage. Usually, I like to grade part usage on integrating weird things like wizarding sticks to be certain elements, or Technic blend with Lego blend, or using floral elements to make structural things or decorative things. That's usually what part usage means. Also using unique colored parts to make a build complete. But for this model, the mixture of Technic is definitely there. The unique parts to make the wheels, I've never seen those center caps on the wheels before, and I've never seen the actual centers of the wheels in a Lego set before, so I think those are custom made for the set. I could be wrong. And all the Tijuana chrome elements are just really nice. So they did a really good job there. So, and in 2018 or 2019 when this set came out, Lego wasn't really making special parts for sets, so they kind of used the best of what they had. And you can see it here, like on the Mustang Creator Expert set. But overall, I think they did a really good job working with what they had. So I'm going to give that a score of 8. Okay, so now we're cooling down a little bit. Playability. This set has the rotating license plates, the ejectocito cuz. It has the rolling GPS display. It has the spike skies that can be put in. I think I called it a smoke screen earlier. It's not a smoke screen. It's a bullet shield. Sorry, sometimes I get confused. It has probably more than what I'm remembering to say right now. Oh, and the machine gun shooters. So this thing is definitely made to be interactive and playful. So I am going to give it a 10 on features. This has some of the most features I've ever seen, to the point where I'm not even thinking that they took out the steering to make room for the machine gun shooters. I do wish it did have working steering, but there's just so many moving parts to this set, you know, that there's just so many moving parts to this set that you don't even think about the missing steering. You just think about everything it can do. I mean, let's have a refresher before I put the number on the board. Roof go back, seat go up. Pretty dope, right? So I'm going to give it a 10. Ease of display. The set is easy to display. It's a Creator Expert car. It's got the 007 license plates. You know what it is when you see it. You know the story behind the car in the movies. You know what it is. So for that, another 10. Okay, now we're getting a little hot again. Minifigs is a 0. There is none in the set. Availability is another 0 because it is retired and you have to rely on third-party markets to get it. Availability is only for whether you can get it from Lego or Lego online or Lego retailers that are current. And the price, I really think this set having a $50 to $80 markup from the original MSRP of the set, I do think that's not too bad for a retired Lego set, especially one as amazing as this. So I'm going to give that about a 7. Because retired Lego prices suck no matter what. And is the set and fun? Yes, it's a 10 on fun. So we have a bunch of 10s on this board, and I'm probably being a little bit biased because I love the car, I love the movie, I love all the stories about this thing. So let's go ahead and add up all these scores. So we are left with a score of 74. Honestly, guys, that is pretty close to how I feel about this set. And the only reason I feel that close to that number is not because the set is lacking, it's because the set is retired. And to get the set, you have to pay the marked up prices of third-party Lego sets. And sometimes it's not easy to get the money to get these retired Lego sets. And that's what puts this set back down to earth. It's incredible. If it wasn't incredible, it would definitely have failed the score. But it doesn't. It is above the recommendation point. So it is a set I do recommend, especially if you have not bought this one yet and you collect creator icon vehicles or creator expert vehicles and icon vehicles, which is the same thing, just two different generations. Right now, at this time and this age, it is 74, so it is something for you to think about. So that wraps it up for this video. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you guys got a kick out of the intro. I did not make that intro up. I literally did make a martini in honor of this set, and no, I did not like it. And yes, this is a blazer that I'm wearing for the build of this set, and no, it does not fit. This is from like 6 years ago for when my brother got married and I was his best man. So I tried to make this as fun and as classy as possible. Probably put a little bit into production on this one above my normal at this point. But this video is an example of the type of production I will be putting into more videos coming in August when we reduce our filming schedule. So if you guys want to kind of know where the channel is going in direction, this is a taste of the direction that the channel is going to go in. So with that, drop your comments down below. Let me know what you think about the build. Let me know what you think about the new creative approach that I'm going to try to take more on the channel. And just let me know your thoughts in general. If you enjoyed the video, please like, share, and subscribe. As usual, thank you for watching, and I will catch you guys next time. You all have a good one.